Alright, no face cam again because I'm on a short schedule and I have to get this done. So I don't have time for the face cam and to do some stuff. So yeah. But in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best way to complete solo challenges. So basically, I've done a bunch of solos. I haven't done any really since my last lineup update, but I want to make a video on how to complete them. So first, I'm going to go over offensive pass plays. So whenever you need a requirement for pass plays or pass yards, just make sure that you just don't throw it deep all the time. These aren't really great tips, but I have tips that are really good for defense and stuff. So here, let me just talk about that. So first of all, if you're doing a solo, right, and it tells you do not let off 80 rushing yards, what you could do is you could do a field goal block. So you do a field goal block. Yes, they'll get just a passing touchdown, but that doesn't affect your stars because you don't have to prevent passing yards or you don't have to win the game. Let's just say it's don't let them get rushing yards. Just do field goal block, and then boom, you're good. For preventing pass yards, make sure you're using your middle linebacker. Don't use your safeties or your corners, or especially your D linemen, because when you're playing against these teams in these solos, if you're not controlling the coverage with a lurker, then it's going to be very hard to stop some of these quarterbacks. I've noticed when I'm not lurking and when I am lurking, it's made a huge difference. So make sure you guys are lurking your middle linebackers and no one else. And also, I like to send a lot of pressure. I really like blitzing. Zone blitzes are really good. And pretty much just, I don't do blitzes every time, but I like doing them a lot when they're out of their comfort. Especially if they're on 3rd and long, obviously you're not going to do a blitz. But if it's like 1st and 10 or 2nd and 5, send some heat. And if they're running the ball, that'll make them stop it. If they're passing the ball, they'll have to get it off quickly. And if you're lurking with your middle linebacker, you can get a pick if he throws it near you. Also, for when you're playing these solos, you want to be aware of the clock and you want to be aware of what you can do with the clock. So when you're playing the game, you can press LB or L1 on the controllers for Xbox and PS4. That changes the tempo of the game. If you need to get tons of points and tons of stats, put it on no huddle so you get more time. If you want to, if you're like down by 4 and there's 4 minutes and you're on your own 20 and you just have to win the game, put on shoe clocks so they don't get a chance to get the lead after you score. So make sure you guys use the tempo adjustments to your advantage, because that is a huge thing that people most of the time don't really realize, is you have the capability of controlling the clock, and if you use it to your advantage, it's going to work out really well. For these NFL epics, I did every single Baker Mayfield one. I wouldn't really do the Deacon Jones ones because the offensive ones are so much easier than the defensive ones. And when you're running the ball and you need to get rushing yards, go on no huddle, because that's when the clock is going to drain. And if you don't have enough time, then you're not going to be able to complete the challenge. With passing yards, passing is so much easier to do on solos than running. So basically just try to get these passes not really super deep every time, because there are going to be times where the guys who are going deep are going to be wide open, and there are going to be times where they're getting clamped. If they're open, you obviously want to throw it, but pretty much just sit in the pocket. I love to do crossing routes. So if you've seen my Face of the Franchise series, you will see that I do a lot of crossing routes with my tight ends. those are open so many times, and if you're just trying to get a good drive, basically just grind those routes and then if you see someone open deep, just throw it. Also, I highly recommend getting a really good quarterback. Baker Mayfield still has some inaccurate passes, but he is very good. He's a free card that you get by just doing these solos in the NFL Epics. That's definitely the first thing you should do when you start Ultimate Team, is get this Baker Mayfield. Because if you don't have a good quarterback, it's going to be a struggle doing these passing solo challenges. Because all you're going to do is just throw inaccurate pass after inaccurate pass. Is there anything else really? Also, make sure you guys are taking into part the bonuses. So make sure you guys are checking up on the bonuses all the time, because most of the time those are really easy to do. Some are actually pretty hard, but like here, Baker Mayfield, the first solo, pass for 14 yards, first play is the bonus. That's not that hard to do. On All Pro isn't really that hard. When you're playing the Jets, it's not that hard. 14 yards, one play, that's pretty easy. So make sure you guys are looking at these bonuses. Also, if you see a bonus and you're trying to do it and you keep failing, then if you are trying to do the bonus and you're going to lose because of it, then don't. Try to do the bonus, but if you don't, it's not the end of the world, but just try your hardest to get the bonuses done. Also in the Baker Mayfield, let me find a good example. Complete at least six passes on the first drive. That's not that hard to do. Pretty much, if you see someone deep and he's going to score a touchdown, and you have 4 passes, maybe you don't want to throw that. Maybe you want to get like a shorter gain so that you can get the bonus completed, so that you save yourself time. Just make sure you guys look at these bonuses and actually get them. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully these tips are actually good. I haven't really made Madden tip videos in the past, so hopefully that these are good tips. So make sure you guys, when you can't give up running yards, or rushing yards, I should say, then make sure you do field goal block, because that makes it impossible to run. And most of the time they just call an audible and just throw a pass, and you'll let them score a touchdown, but that doesn't affect your challenge. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been your host, Nick from Big Ants Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.